Hi, I'm Carol from Farm Animal Rescue. I'm outside of Saleyard in Harristown, Toowoomba. It's Monday the 23rd of January, and this Saleyard is owned by one of Australia's largest real estate agencies, Elders. My very first visit here was over a decade ago. We witnessed bobby calves, which are dairy calves, males that don't produce milk, so they're not wanted. They were underneath some cheap shade cloth, and a farmer said to me that they're not going to a nice place. He likened them to a 10-cent piece lying on the ground that you wouldn't bother picking up. In other words, they're worthless. They don't produce milk, so their next destination will be a slaughterhouse. Saleyards are where animals, mostly farm animals, are auctioned off to the highest bidder. On July 1st, 2021, changes to the Animal Care and Protection Act came into effect. Amongst those changes were for bobby calves to have protection via a roof against rain and sun, and that pigs must have water available to them at all times. This code is set by government, most notably Mark Furner's office. He is the Minister for Agriculture here in Queensland. The due process for reporting animal welfare issues in this instance is with DAF, the Department of Agriculture and Fisheries. In May 2022, we visited these Saleyards and found that 98% of the pigs here had no access to water. We filmed a pig being handled very roughly during unloading, and the bobby calves underneath that same shade cloth we'd seen a decade earlier, now rotting. It was a cold, miserable May day, and the calves were cold and shivering. We immediately made a report to DAF with video evidence. When we had not been contacted 3 months later, in August 2022, we got in touch with DAF, and their reply was that these things take time. So we waited. We revisited here on the 12th of December 2022 and found that the calves had been moved into the pig section. Now, yes, they do have cover now, but the pigs still had no access to water. They had tubs that some had been filled, yet they're just makeshift light tubs, so most of them had been knocked over. So in actuality, those pigs had no access to water at all. Tired of the inaction from DAF, we got in touch with Mark Furner's office directly. On the 6th of January, we heard back from Mark Furner's office stating that the DAF inspector had actually visited these Saleyards on the 12th of December and the 19th of December and considered the pig area compliant. Of course, we wanted to see what compliance actually looks like. So on the 9th of January, we returned here and we found that those same lightweight makeshift tubs had been tipped over, meaning that those pigs still had no access to water. When we arrived today, we noticed that for the first time they have signage everywhere saying that there is no filming or photos to be taken without authorisation, which would mean that we'd have to give our names and identities to the office. We had the manager approach us almost immediately stating this to us as well. We mentioned that we were just here to make sure that the pigs had water. Now, we think that this is a very basic right for animals to have water. Pigs are very susceptible to heat, and we suspect this is why the code has been changed to include water to be available at all times in the first place. We also believe that this is a very clear indication as to why we need an independent Office of Animal Welfare. The same office that's tasked with the growth of animal agriculture is also tasked with animal welfare. We see this as a blatant conflict of interest. We won't give up holding the government to account and to make them uphold those codes that they put in place. We thank you so much for watching and for your support over the years, both on and off Sanctuary. We'll update you as soon as we can with any other details and also let you know if there's anything you can do to help. Thanks again for watching.